Shalom, shalom, everybody. I have my big bro, great prophet and visionary on the line with the deep esoteric teachings. He's going to give you the title. The title you might already see some of y'all get on and get on, but I'm going to give y'all Prophet Keegan Brinks. You have the floor, Prophet.
Shalom, blessings everybody. Um, all praise to the Most High for what I've been given and for everything that I have come to know during this time that I was away from social media. So the title is Deep Esoteric Mysteries and Keys. The only thing separating me from you is my idea of you. So the reason for this title is because I want to show that we have this we have a very wrong interpretation of all things, and I say that with the utmost love for everybody, because we can start, get the brain going, get the pineal gland activated, the mind's eye. um let's start with Moses, for instance, right? We think Moses is this prophet from years ago. Okay, wait, let me just rewind myself a bit. Firstly, I don't view the Bible as secular history. I view it as an autobiography of self for everybody, right? It's not chosen for a specific set of people. Um, I know there's a movement now, um, that this is the people, that is the people. I don't look at it like that. Because me, I have love for the whole world. Because God loved the world. Who am I to be any different? Why should I? If the God I serve is love, I am to love. And so, with that in mind, I'm gonna replace you with everybody that I'm going to speak about. So, just to get started, we will talk about Moses. No? People say he's a prophet, no? And that he's the one that wrote the commandments. If you've seen my other video, Esoteric Symbols of the Body in the Bible, you will more or less understand where I'm coming from when I'm speaking like this about Moses. I'm not taking anything away from him, firstly. So, what I've come to learn in the last few weeks or so, I've viewed Moses over and over, and I also thought he's a great prophet, a great man of God. But then I asked, now, who is Moses to me? What does he represent to me personally and to everybody else? How is Moses significant? In what way is he significant? And what I got was so mind blowing, I didn't even know what to make of it. I thought I was going crazy. Because I mean, who gets a thought like that? Whose mind even goes there? So what I thought, or what came to me, was that Moses represents the your conception and coming into this world. Yes, Sister Becky, we are Moses, we are David, we are everybody in this Bible, except the evil one. If you want to be an evil one, go ahead and do that. But me, I'd rather be every man of God than to be any adversary. Um, so Moses represents your conception and then your birth. Why do I say that? Because if you there's metaphysical teachings out there that you can also go look at. Look at Paul Valentine's cracking the Bible code. He gives a very deep metaphysical interpretation of all the plagues and how it was the condensing of the elements into the slower vibration of matter and this 3D world that we live in today. So the the part where it says Moses was put into the basket and carried over the water. If you think about it, didn't your semen cross a river? Didn't you as semen cross a river? And weren't you in the basket called the womb? And then weren't you drawn from the water out of that womb, out of that basket? So the parting of the Red Sea would be, after the birth, or during the birth, and the blood starts to flow. But during the time of the conception, there is no period for the woman, right? So that is the Red Sea flowing again. That is what I understood, or what, from an esoteric standpoint, that's what I understand from the Moses story. It's, it's your conception, and it's the condensing of the higher frequencies vibration into this condensed lower vibrations and frequencies. Um, Also, the killing of the firstborn, that was the killing, or the merging of the element that makes up your body. That's the firstborns, because each element came with its own individual identity. It merged into what we now call the body, or you. So then that is the killing of the firstborn, because they no longer have their own individual identity. They are now the body. They are now one. So that's the killing of the firstborn. But we, I'm not going to stay long on this. And then I think I think we must get into the good part of this. I think so. I want to just do a variation on Isaiah 9 and show you how this is your rising chapter. This is you rising through the seven chakras. The first seven verses is your rising. It's not this, oh, okay, I'll leave it as a prophecy, because it's a prophecy of you to you. It's the prophecy of your awakening, in a sense, and becoming one with the Father again. So, in the first verse, it says, "Nevertheless, the dumbness shall not be shut, was as was in the vexation, when at the first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievous afflict by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan in Galilee of the nations." So, how I know this is the root chakra? Because if you go to Matthew 28, verse 10, and Mark 16, verse 7, the Messiah says, um, tell my brethren to meet me, or to go to Galilee. I will meet them there. They will see me there. So this is how I know that you need to go within yourself. You need to go to your root. And at your root, what you will find, and I'm not talking on theory. First, let me get that out of the way. This is not a theory. This is not philosophy. This is from my own personal experience, that I was privileged enough to have gotten from the Most High. I'm not boasting about it. I mean, I'm just trying to convey the message. I'm here in service of humanity. I want everybody to know. I know it's not possible, but I would love that. But so what you will see at the root chakra is a golden ball of white light. Will be at your root, will be swirling in a slow manner. And this light will be struck by a flash of lightning. In Acts 2, verse 2, they talk about the mighty wind coming, and in tongues touching each disciple. This is not as we think it to be from an intellectual standpoint. It's got nothing to do with it. It's the short circuit between the two hemispheres of your brain. It's an electrical short circuit that causes a spark of electrical current that runs down your spine and it hits the root of it hits your root chakra, it hits that ball. And immediately as it hits it, the ball rises and it shoots through your crown. Um, you have interpretation of that in Revelations 12 verse 5. And she gave birth to a son. And the son was, as soon as the child was born, the child was taken up to the throne of God. That's talking about this birth. I'm gonna link in a lot of things here. Because when this happened to me, I couldn't understand it. I didn't know what was happening. I was like, did I die? What's happening now? Where am I? Who am I? That was actually the first question I asked, who am I? And this message came about from because of my first message I did. Um, Isaiah 9 just popped into my head and it was constantly there. And I kept reading it and kept reading it. And then I was wondering, now, what does this have to do with me? And then he said, listen, read, ponder, meditate, and just be silent, say nothing. Stay in the stillness of your own self. Everything is changing around you, but within you there's an immovable peace. There is something that is infinite, it's formless, and that is God. Because God is infinite, God is formless. So what makes you different? I know people will say, oh, that's blasphemous. You can't make yourself to be God. Well, if in this world there is only God and God plays all roles, then why can't I say that? I'm not saying that go into the world and say, I am God. You're going to get yourself hurt. You're going to put yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. But in knowing this, just be and be the proof that God exists. Don't try to go boast about it. Was Jesus boastful? Was any awakened being boastful? I don't think so. Because to be boastful is that your ego. And your ego is not you. It's an idea of you, but it's not you. You are not changing. You are not moving. You are always here. And you are always the very same at your core. So, I mean, this is just this is coming from a pure love standpoint. I want everybody to understand it. So that's how I know that is the root chakra because it's where I was taken. It's where I was privy to be the perceiver of these things. Now with the question for the audience, can the perceiver even be perceived? So you can let me know if the perceiver can be perceived, and if so, how? And then who's perceiving the perceiver being perceived? This is only to get your mind going. And I want you guys to be with me on this. I know I'm going a bit off topic and I'm going to come back on topic now. So now from here, we're going to move to the sacral chakra. So verse 2, the people walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadows of death, upon them have the light shined. How do I know that's the sacral? Because the sacral chakra represents your reproductive organs. It also represents, yeah, it just basically represents your reproductive organs. So it represents your seed. It represents you or what you were. So you were living in the shadow of death. You were living it because you were living inside of a mortal body, and a mortal body is death. Also, inside of the body, you were there, so you were in the shadow. That I, I can try to explain this as much as I want to. It's going to take me 10 hours. because it took me almost 5 weeks just to understand the first two alone. But I'm trying to get it through to you guys. Um, verse 2 you will also find in Luke. Is it Luke 2? I think. I think it's Luke 2 verses 8 to 9. When they talk about the three wise men and then the light that came. This is also showing you another portion of that birth, and when the the light came and it grabbed the child and took the child up, it's showing you all of that over and over in this chapter. You're gonna see this. So now we're gonna move to the solar plexus or the gut, right? So your digestive system. Thou hast multiplied the nations and not increased the joy. Thy joy before thee, according to the joy in the harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. How do I know this is the gut or the solar plexus? It's because when you digest food, do you manually go into your body and then divide up the spoils and the nutrients and send it to where it needs to be in the body? Or does the gut do that? Does your digestive system do that automatically? And the reason I'm going over all these things and I'm making emphasis on the body is because if you deny your body or you shun your body, how will you come into knowing? How will you awaken if you die now today in this physical form? If you must, if you were to fall dead, or if you walk out of your house and somebody shoots you in the head, and you have not yet come to know the true salvation and the true embrace of the Most High, how then? What are you gonna tell him? I thought the body was this bad guy. I thought the body was something to be condemned. Then why would he put you in the body? Why would he give you this chance to come as consciousness? Because he's consciousness, he's energy. So you come as consciousness, as energy, to experience and to taste yourself. Because all things are but a projection of self. If you think God is malevolent, God will be malevolent towards you because it's a mirror that you're looking into. You think God is this beloved being? That's what He will be for you. It's not that you. I'm not saying you go praise your body. I'm not saying that, but I'm trying to show you the importance of your body. So don't disregard it because your body is it's a vital tool and it's an important part of your existence here. Because without this body, you won't be here. So you are the formless in a form. All right. I know I'm going. I need to explain it like this because I can feel these people that's not with me. They're watching, but they're not really there. And so I know why I'm saying certain things when I'm saying that. So now we're gonna move to the heart with the fourth chakra and the fourth verse of this chapter. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. So that is taking all the worry, all the hatred and things, all the negative vibrations, is taking it out of your heart. It's also taking the weight that you hold on yourself and this view that you have of yourself through concepts of others, not even of yourself. You didn't come to those concepts on your own. Who told you you're not good enough? Who told you that you cannot question God? Who told you you cannot go and view within yourself the Creator? Who told you these things? And who told you you dare not even try to be as God. Why? If when I do die out of this physical form, I become God, then why am I not embodying that now? There's no limitation of the life force in you. There's no limitation of what has been breathed into you. Who told you that there's a limit? Because if you go within and you close your eyes, do you see any limitation? Do you see any form? No, because you are formless, because you are limitless. So now we're gonna move to the throat. Now this this is a very important one because we have a portrayal of how the chakra works in the book of Kings with Elijah. A very important chakra, it's a very powerful chakra. So, and you would have heard life and death lies in the tongue. All right. So, for every battle of the warriors is with confused noise, and the garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. What are they talking about? When you are in your reactive mind, when you are just reacting to the world, that is actually it's a type of conforming to the world, if I may say so, because you are not coming from the the consciousness. You are not coming from a pure place. You are coming from emotion, and you're not thinking. So also we need to understand that we are all one. We are one body fragmented into this entire existence. Everything you see is you, right? So here, when it says garments rolled in blood, what do you think they're talking about? It's not that the blood stain from the enemy or something. No, this this is your garment of blood. You are rolled in a garment of blood. You are light. You are formless. You are the nothing and the all, rolled in a garment of blood. That's what it's talking about. So with confusion, you shouting out here at other people with their way of belief, their path of enlightenment, that they um, soul chose to take. And that is why I personally don't profess by any book. I know I'm reading out of the Bible because I know there will be some idiot that will comment it. So I'll clear it up now. I'm reading from the Bible, yes. Does not mean I haven't read other books. So I've read the Book of the Dead. That goes deeper into the creation of the universe and things, and the condensing of the light and things into this form, and how you will return. And I've read the Quran, I've read all these things, but I grew up in a Christian household. So I know most of my friends are Christian. And therefore, I choose this book to read out of and to bring a message to you from. So we're going to move now into the mind's eye. We're going to just show you a bit of a something about this. And there's something to be said about this particular thing as it's stating over here. This child, the son, it's your divine consciousness, it's Christ consciousness that it's speaking of, right? Not the same thing as what we were told is, I know that is a bit out there, and some people might not understand what I'm talking about, but when I'm done with verse 7, I think we're gonna go to, I think I'm gonna go to Psalms 2, verses 7 to 8, and in Psalms 89, 24 to 28, just to explain what I mean by what I just said now. So, for unto us a child is born, unto us is given a son, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. So now here you read it for yourself and you see it's called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. So if we are prophesying that we are to receive God, when did it change? When did it change to say that the Son will be your salvation? If it's saying here that the Father will be your salvation. In Isaiah 43, I think it says, I, the Lord, will be your salvation. There will be no other. For I, the Lord, will be your salvation. For other than me, there is none. So, if He told you He's going to come, He's going to be your salvation, He's going to be your Savior, why are you giving His glory to somebody else? And I'm going to explain to you what is meant when He said, or when it said that, for the Lord shall love the world that He gave His only begotten Son, and whomsoever believeth in Him shall not perish but have everlasting life. I'm going to explain that to you. I'm going to show you something about that. Because when it came to me, I was floored by it. I was like, okay, now I don't know what to believe in anymore. Where do I go from here? Am I still the same person? Can I even still be the same person? Can I even believe the way I do? The answer is no. Because once your consciousness rises, you cannot go back to a lower state of consciousness. Yes, your ego will come, and your ego will do a lot of things. Trust me. The ego is not your friend in the beginning of your awakening, nor is your mind. Those things are to be killed, to put it plain and simple. So I ask a question to everybody watching. Who here today is ready to die? I'm not talking of physical death. Talking about the death of the ego, the death of the personal identity, the persona that you hold on to so dearly. Are you ready to die? Are you ready to let go? Not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. Because you identify with this ego, with this persona for all of your life. You have built this thing up to be the best you, to be whatever, to for the world to see you in a certain way. So you've built this up and you keep up this facade. But now, when you awaken, you are no longer personal. You become impersonal. You become the all. You you don't see people as external things because you know within them it's you, and within you is them, and everything is you. This is a hard concept to grasp. I know. Sorry, I know it's hard, but you need to let go of your ego. That's all I can tell you. Let go of your ego. Be willing to die, surrender to the Most High, and be absorbed into the all. Stay in the nothingness. Stay in the formless. Why would you want to be a form when you are formless? Why would you want to be something when you are nothing that is everything? Now you see, we got this concept of nothing. Oh, nothing is a bad thing. Nothing is not a bad thing. Because being nothing means that you are so open, that you are capable of being all things. The the I am, let me put it here. The I am does not know itself, yet in not knowing itself, it knows itself. I don't know if you get that. I would love to know if you get that. Because some of these concepts or some of these things I'm saying is very out there and it's very broad spectred because I'm not here to spoon feed anybody the truth. I'm here to point you in the direction of the truth so that you can go and you can go find it yourself and come back with your own experience and testify with the living truth and the living God. Testify of your experience that you found within yourself because scripture is to be experienced. So now I'm going to finish this off with verse 7. But before I go there, let me just see. Did I say everything I wanted to say? Yeah. So, verse 7. Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. Yes, Sister Becky. Yeshua died on the cross. What cross? That's the question. I can say that. I know he died on the cross, but what cross? What cross, Sister Becky? What cross did he die on? Was it the cross in Calvary? Way back when? It was a tree that was cut down and carved into the shape of a cross? Or was it something totally different? I'd like to know what your response to that is because I'm about to respond to you. Before we get there, I just want to go back to something. It says here, for the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. There shall be no end. So when you receive this peace, there won't be an end to it. But that is telling you that when the ego dies, there will be no end to your peace. As long as you're holding on to this persona of who you are and this ego that you built up, let me tell you, the peace will end soon. And when I say soon, I say as soon as you start contemplating on who you are. The ego tell you, no, you're not good enough. The ego tell you, no, you cannot be that. No, you cannot say that. This is the ego. Who is the ego talking to? Because what I've noticed, the ego only bites or fights with your idea of yourself. It cannot bite and it cannot touch your true self, your higher self, your Christ self. It cannot do it. So why do we have this idea that, the devil has all this power? No, he doesn't. You give him power. You give him power. We as people are the light. Some of us are like this, very dumb. Some of us we shine bright. Some of us broke the bulb, didn't want to throw it away. So let the ego die. You hang on the tree at yourself. That's a very good answer. Now he was hanging out on our transgressions, our lower chakras. He was hung on the tree that is ourself. That's a very good answer. Very broad answer. I was thinking for something more precise, more, you know. But okay, that's all correct though. I'm not gonna argue with it. But if I can just put some precision to it, I would say the tree is your body. You see, the nail that went into the soles of the feet and then into the hands and then the crown of thorns and the piercing in the side. Those are vortexes that open up when the spirit comes upon. When the spirit enters through those vortexes and it merges with you. But it only does this once you are willing and are prepared for it to happen. When you are ready, the Father won't allow all things to happen. If you are not ready, He's not going to put a burden on you. Why would He do that? Why would He give you something that you cannot handle? I mean, so this is the cross, right? This is the cross, right? Yeah, this is the cross. We know that the body represents wood and trees and ox and things. You know, there are many different interpretations of the body in the Bible. But we are not taught these things because they like to tell us this particular thing. Is it really then how is it relevant to me with that particular thing? Because I don't want to hear about a particular thing that got nothing to do with me that I can't attain. I'm not speaking from ego, I'm speaking from self because your whole journey here is to become your true self. It's to awaken to this light and it's to be of service to humanity. So when the ego dies, yes, your peace will last forever because you will not be responding from a reactive mind. You will not be worrying about what the world is doing, going wrong in the world. Who cares about the world? Is your world alright? Or you alright? Is this faculties in order over here? That's the question. Because what's the point of having a world that is peaceful if in your mind you are not peaceful, if in your spirit you are not peaceful? Then what's the purpose of having a peaceful world? What's the purpose of having a world that is in order if you are not in order? Therefore, the world is in chaos because we don't want to wake up. So wake up, take up your throne. Yes, when the word said he became son, it means he became flesh because flesh is sin embodied. Yes, but still, don't condemn the body. The body is a very vital tool for consciousness to express itself. I mean, if consciousness wanted to, you could have been a cat, you could have been a dog, you could have been a cockroach, you could have been anything. But consciousness chose to manifest you as a person for a reason, to show the world where consciousness is, who God is, and that God does exist, that it's not this, you know, malevolent being that is sitting up there judging you. No, it's within you. Everything is within you. So the world is in chaos because the saints don't want to take up their place. They don't want to awaken. They don't want to do what they're supposed to do. So they want to be conformed to the world. Therefore, the world's crying out for help. How is it doing that? Well, everything that is going on. All this negative shit that we see here, it's because the world needs help. They need to understand. So I can even give you a simple thing to do. Why not visualize people walking in their awakened true self? I mean, Brother Keegan, depending on what you feed, your energy depends on what grows. If you feed your connection with our Most High, then your Christ consciousness will grow. If you feed anything else, that's where your energy will go. It is the choices we make. Very nice, Sister Sharon. I like that. Shalom, blessings to you. That is a lovely message for whoever's watching this. You see, people do get it. There are people out there that you know what, if you are feeling confused and you're on this platform now, you are watching this now, there are people here in this comment that you can message, you can add them and things, you can even add me. And we can guide you to certain things, we can point you in the right direction. I'm not here to guide anybody, I'm not even here to teach anybody anything. Because I have nothing to teach. What am I teaching? I'm merely expressing my experiences, what I have found within consciousness of Christ. So, yes, all these things in the world because we don't want to awaken. We're scared to die. Plain and simple. You're scared to let the ego die. You're scared to let your persona die. This personification that you have of yourself. You're scared to let it go. Let it go. Let it die. Put it on the chopping block. Make the sacrifice. Christ made a big sacrifice. Why won't you make the small one? I mean, your ego is not important. Is your ego a physical thing? Is your ego manifestation walking around you? Or is your ego all in your mind? So kill it. It's as simple as that. Wake up, people. Wake up. And the world will be a better place. So when I see people, for instance, doing the wrong thing, or whatever the case may be, something negative, I do as the father of the prodigal son did when the second son came there and said, "Oh, why is throwing this feast?" What did the father tell him? Why can't you embrace? Why can't you be joyful? Why can't you show love and compassion when your brother came back? He was dead, now he's alive. You're the prodigal son. Your ego is the brother. The father is consciousness. See, all allegories that I can bring back and throw all these things, but that's not what I want to do. Also, it says here um, that he will establish the kingdom of David. So, how is he the son of David? That's a question that was never answered in the Bible. It was asked, was never answered. We can get into that answer because that's a very important thing. So we know Christ is, we saw it in verse 6, we heard it now. When I read it, you heard what it said. He will be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. This is your consciousness. That's what it's talking about, right? So, albeit the Messiah is the son of David, that's a simple question because we know what David said in the Spirit. And the Lord said to my Lord. So, if he's establishing the kingdom of David, that means he precedes David, right? And now, to understand that there is simple thing I need I need to shake things that can be shaken and break some things that can be broken. So if you're not ready to be shaken, please leave. Not ready to be broken, please leave. Because what I'm about to say will rock your faith. It will shake you in ways that you are not ready for if you do not have a true connection. And a true understanding, or you are not open to just exploring with the Most High and exploring with yourself. I mean, life is an experiment, but nobody's willing to do their own experiment on self. Instead, you want to go experiment on other people, like the doctors out there, experimenting on people with that, that Wichita thing. Why are you not experimenting on yourself, awakening yourself? Experiment on yourself and rise in consciousness. This is what it's about. That's the biggest thing you can ever do in your life, the rise in consciousness. So, if he precedes David, then you will say, before Abram, I am. So, David in the Bible, must I say this to you guys? I don't think you guys are ready for such a teaching. But I I guess I don't have a choice, eh? So David is a personification of humanity. Moses, personification of your birth. Christ, a personification of your consciousness. So when it said that the son of David, you will be the son of David, what it means is you. Because if David represents humanity, then David represents you. And you also come from a human, don't you? Called himself the son of man, didn't he? Or they called him the son of man. Are you not also the son of man? So David is the personification of all of humanity. Christ is the personification of your consciousness, your true consciousness, your true self. So let's go see what David had to say in Psalm 2, verses 7 to 8. I will declare the decree. Again, I will declare the decree. Am I reading right? Yes. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day I have begotten thee. Yes, Jason Smith. The answers are within you. You are so right. You are so right. Yo, my brother. The Spirit said, look up, and I looked up, and I looked into this. The answers are within. So then what am I even doing here? If the answers are within. But, well, somebody needed this. Somebody was asking for this because, I mean, I was very happy off of Facebook and from all these negative things that come on the timelines and stuff, social media. But the Spirit move, the Spirit say move, I must move. I don't have a choice. So yes, the answers are within. But who's willing to go within? Who's willing to ask the questions that need answering? Now, I asked some questions. Apparently everybody was asking, but not willing to wait for the answer. Don't ask a question and walk away. That's as simple as that. Don't ask a question and walk away. Wait for the answer. So, and I'm going to read that verse over because it's a very powerful verse. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. Now, it's David talking, humanity talking. Thou art my son. So when it said, the Lord shall love the world, or God shall love the world, that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. I think it's safe to say, when you start believing in yourself, and you start understanding what is in you, and you start embracing the light, the love, and the truth in yourself, you're not going to perish. So let the ego die. Today, let it die. Let go, let it die. I had a hard time letting the ego go. I had a hard time killing the ego. I never thought of it like that. But thank you for that. That's another insight. I've never even thought of Goliath while I was thinking about all these things. And when I came across this decree that David is making, I never thought about Goliath because, hey, maybe the ego was hiding at that time. Who knows? But where I did see the ego was in the prodigal son story. So that's a very good one, Sister Becky. Thank you for that. From the I am in me, the I am in you. Thank you. And everybody else out there, please thank that sister over there for what she just said. Because she showed you exactly how big your ego is and exactly what you need to do. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for the world. Stand up for the nation and your people. Conquer. Thank you, Sister Vicky. You're welcome, my brother. So it's you that this whole message is for you then. Because you've been the one asking these things. So then why didn't you wait for the answer? Or maybe you thought you were going crazy like I thought. Because I mean, I didn't really want to come to this, you know. I didn't really want to speak these things because I was also a bit anxious about it and things, you know. If we consider the size of Goliath and the size of our ego. Thank you, Sister Becky. So, my brother Jason, yes, this message maybe for you. Maybe it was only for you. Who knows? So, now I'm gonna knock some heads here now. Oh, some people's not gonna like what I say now. In verse 8, David goes on with his decree of what the Lord has said to him. Ask me, wait. Ask me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the utmost part of the earth for thy possession. So, what is so wrong with money? It's not the love of money that is evil, for you do not love. Oh, if you love possessions, I'm sorry, but then you don't know love. If you love in people, you do not know love. Because love is something that you must first find it within you. In order to give it to anything, anybody, you must first have it. God loves giving gifts. I must say, He loves giving gifts. So it's not the love, sorry, of money, but rather the lust of money that is evil. Because when you lust after money, just like when you lust after anything else, you have no regard for anything at all. You are willing to do whatever it takes. Am I right or am I not? To get it. So the love of money is not wrong. Nobody told you. I don't know who told you that you can't have money, you can't have desires, you can't have ambitions, you can't attain things. Nobody, God didn't tell you that. It's that way. I don't care what people say. You can hate on me all you want to. You're hating on yourself. You're hating on the Father. I mean, I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for anybody's approval. I am doing this as a service to all of humanity and for future generations, if there is a few generation that will come across this. I'm so glad that you found this Wherever you are in the future, if it's in the year 55,000, I don't, doesn't really matter. If you found this, you're on the right path. I tell you, you're on the right path. You have found something that is going to strike up a profound, how do I put this, profound sequence of things that will unfold within you. Love is not emotion, it's a vibration frequency deep within, started in creation. It is creation. Yes, thank you, Sister Teresa. Teresa. Thank you. Yes, sir. You see, I love it when the family is young. I love to talk to people that understand and that get this thing. The other day I did a dry run of this message on my brothers. Okay, the one was, it was hanging in me, but barely hanging in there. The other one's ego popped up. If he had a gun, he would have shot me to shut me up. But I know where the responses are coming from, so I don't see the response. Rather, in my mind's eye, I see him accepting, and I see the tree growing and budding within him already for the truth. And whether or not he comes to thank me, that's none of my concern, for it's not my glory to behold. The glory of the Most High, for I'm just doing His, well, I'm just doing His duty, you know. So, yeah, David himself told you the decree, the, the decree made. So now, I want to go to Psalms 89, verses 24 to 28. Yeah, 28 or 20, 29. Let's go to 29. But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him, and in my name shall his horn be exalted. Now, wait, I'm going to stop this here. Do all of us understand here that your sacred energy within you, your Christ energy, is your sexual energy? Do we all understand this fundamental fact of life? Because we know it's sexual energy that produces life, so therefore, the sacred energy also within you. So, in the previous message today, Brother Mark Campbell's message, I like his message very much. Um, he made a very, very strong testimony. He made the testimony about not having sex for a year. That's powerful. Because you're welcome, sister. You are so welcome. I'm just happy that you guys are receiving this and you're getting it. Oh, yes. Yeah, this emotion starting. I just don't want to break down the camera. And yes, we need to go back. We need to rewind. We need to relook these things over for ourselves. Stop taking what people tell you. But back to Brother Mark. You said a very powerful thing, Brother Mark. You said you didn't have sex for a year. So I wonder, what insights are you not telling us? What kingdom secrets are you keeping in that mind's eye of yours? Please enlighten us on what this energy has done for you, done in you. It will be very nice to hear from another enlightened being. It would be. Yes, it's the new energy, creative energy that's in the earth. Yes, it's in the earth, but it's in you first. In the earth, but it is in you first. So everything is but a projection of self. For without the beholder, there is not a thing. You're not there to perceive something, can it still be perceived? If all of humanity is not here, can the animals still be perceived? Can the trees still be perceived? Will they even know that they're being perceived? Now we know that the lower forms of consciousness, such as animals and things, they live on instinct. That's why they don't worry about where food comes from, where they will sleep, things like that. The crap we need to worry about because they're taken care of by the consciousness. So, I mean, if we can give into it, it's better. Didn't Christ also say that? A catalyst with energy within to be released. Yes. Why are we bottling it up though? That's the question. Why are we bottling this up? Why are we scared to express consciousness? Why are we scared to express the divine force within? These are the questions that I want answered. I can't answer them because only you that hears the question can answer the question. That's why we women consider sex to be the whole of ourselves. Some of us, it's the most valuable part of me, not the physical part of me, but what I give away with it. What is exchanged with another is absolutely priceless. You are so correct. This is not the physical thing. We're not talking about physical. Yes, we're talking about the, the essence. We're talking about the the untangible of the tangible. You know. So yes, it's a whole lot more than just having sex because you. I think Sister Teresa in one of her messages in the women's conference, she touched on that, but how it you can bind yourself to the wrong person. It's a contract being signed between energies, and you know, she did a very powerful message on that. I remember. It just hit me now. So I mean, yeah, it's talking about the wound that will be exalted, right? Let's get back on topic. So the wound that will be exalted. So, like I was saying, the sexual energy, the essence of life and life. Yes, sir. Why you guys on point like this? It, it, it's lovely, but hey, I'm wondering if I should continue. So, the wound, when they said, or whenever they depict Moses, when they make a statue or whatever of Moses, they always depict him with two horns, two horns. Do you think the two horns are? Yes, sister. The female reproductive organ is a portal. I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna touch a bit on that. I'm also gonna show you guys where the secret and the sacred vagina is and where the birth from above takes place within you. All things I'll be touching on during this message. Why they depicted him with horns was to symbolize to you that it was the sexual energy or the life force, life essence that rose in him and crowned him. So through the spine it will travel into the pineal gland. Now, if the pineal gland is calcified, it's coarse and hard, so it cannot absorb and it cannot secrete the energy and you know the oil that rise in the spine. So it cannot absorb that. It cannot use it for manifestation or whatever you want to call it. I'm not here for words. Don't get stuck on words that I use, please. You missed the message if you stuck on one word. He said manifestation. That's a demonic thing. How the hell is it demonic if you are flipping manifestation yourself? Anyway, so the horn. And also, so if you, yes, if it's calcified, it cannot secrete the, the oils or the energy. Your serotonin, your melatonin, all those things, the chemicals. You are alchemist, so go ahead and make your formulas that you need. But if you're having sex and you don't have a calcified pineal gland, what happens is the pineal gland stands like this, straight up, right? The energy in the woman raises the man if she knows how to use it and if he can receive it. Yes, that's also why in ancient civilizations you would see uh, erect penis looking sculptures. It was all symbolic of the sexual energy within you. Now, I don't want to go into it. How can I put this in the most powerful way possible? The less consciously involved could not understand that, so they thought, oh, those people were just perverted people making penises everywhere. Even the naga, the snake, also a representation of that energy. It's all this representation of your sexual energy. So yeah, when it says the horn will be exalted, your pineal gland standing straight up, erect, flowing with energy. Yes, we've been deceived, but by who? Were you deceived by yourself or by another? Because if another deceived you, don't don't hate them. Forgive them because they did not know who they were deceiving. Now you wake up. So what does the deception still hold something on you or not? Oh, thank you, Sister Becky. I love this honesty of this sister idea. Very powerful sister in Christ. Thank you for your honesty. Not a lot of people can say that, and I can just even by looking at it, I know it's typed over there, but that is not ego talking. I can see it. His ego would have gave me a whole paragraph of why it was not there. Ego likes to do that. Ego likes to do that. So when it's speaking of the wound, it's a pineal gland being erect. When you exchange sexual energy, your pineal gland becomes flaccid, goes down. You can see that in for Valentine's breakdowns on that guy is very good. Him and Bobby Emmett. Brother PC knows about them. He shows he shows snippets of their videos. That's very deep, guys, that you can go look into if you want more metaphysical explanations of these things. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to show you there's things within yourself. Also, don't watch for Valentine and Bobby Hemmett if you have a weak foundation on spirituality because they will break your faith. I'm telling you, they will break your faith. They will make you will go insane. You won't know what to believe. You won't know how to believe because they not explaining to you what they had to go through to come there, but they are explaining to you from the standpoint where they are. And because they have so much passion about their craft, they have so much passion about their craft that they bring it across in a very brutal way. So they will knock your Bible. They will knock the Quran also. But because they're looking at it from a metaphysical perspective, they're not looking at it as spiritual scriptures, even though they know they're speaking about the spirit, because metaphysics is about the spirit and about how this existence came into being. That's what metaphysics covers. Covers the broader aspects of all things, including religion. But because of what they have found, they no longer profess by it. But, okay, I can't say that because I think both of them are Commission, or they believe in the Egyptian, the Egyptian way. The ancient African spirituality, as most people on the internet today are saying, so that we're all in the same page. So when you waste your sexual energy, your pineal gland becomes flaccid and it cannot use the energy. So there's no manifestation for you. You can try as hard as you want to, you're not gonna get anything. Anyway, let's go on with David's decree. I will set his hand also in the sea, ooh, and his right hand in the rivers. Um, it's David, right? Ooh, now this system must now always come with something so deep that I must now sit and ponder on a live video with people that is waiting for me to get to my point. Sister Vicky, I don't know if your souls have been pierced with an alien. Only you can tell us if you have experienced that. And that goes for everybody out there watching this. Only you will know you have received those shoes of peace. Only you will know if you are yourself has been crucified, if Christ has been crucified into your vessel. I cannot answer for you. I have no right to answer for you. Nor can I tell you how to believe. I cannot. I'm not allowed to. So next time your pastor tells you don't look into that, tell him to shut up. Next time somebody's blabbering in tongues, tell him to shut up if there's no interpreter. I'm just saying. I will go according to the rules and the regulations, but there's certain things that is not being said by the religious leaders of this world. And to me, that's a very bad thing. I don't like that. You want to serve the truth, and you serve the truth. And you be truthful about serving the truth. Don't come to me with a facade or the feel good story. Because I will tell you straight up, not that feel goodness in the beginning of awakening is very hard, it's very painful. Because the ego must die. The ego must die. The hardest thing you can do. The easiest thing to. But in the beginning, it will be very hard to start questioning the ego, though. You see how you break down. Who are you talking to? How is that? Can you perceive the one that is being spoken to? If so, it's not you. If you can perceive the thought coming in, it's not you. Because, like I said, the ego or the devil cannot attack God. We're going to get into that also. I don't want to be too long. I see we're an hour and 15 minutes already. I think Brother Beast is getting a bit anxious there. I can't really see him, but let's carry on with this. So here in 25 it said, I will set his hand also in the sea and his right hand in the rivers. Where did I hear that before? Oh no, that's with the feet, right? One leg here and it's one leg there. The Mount of Olives, right? So here you see David speaking a similar decree, you know. So verse 26, thus Okay, I will explain it a bit later. Ye shall cry unto me, Thou art my Father, my God, and the rock of my Yeshua, or salvation for you English people. Also, I will make him my firstborn, higher than the kings of the earth. My mercy will keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him. His seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. At David's decree. So, according to David's decree from the Lord's decree to David, he will be made the firstborn. Uh, Earlier on, I know I said David represents humanity. So, humanity is the firstborn, true firstborn of consciousness. You see, because only humanity can express and experience consciousness. And if you understand, if you can grasp these things that I'm speaking about, you will start to understand who you are. Because that's all I want you to know. Because once you know who you are, you will know who God is. And it's not that hard. I know it's not that hard. I mean, I have been going through these things, and nobody was, I can't say somebody was there to help me through it. So I had to go through this, and I know that it will be painful, and I'm honest about it. Every person that has been through this, and it really has compassion for the next person, and it really wants this for the next person, because this is not yours to keep. Your awakening is not yours, but the world. Understand what I'm saying, please. If you awaken, you come to be known. Let me just pull up that quick. Gospel of Thomas. If you awaken, it's not for you. It is not for you. It's not something for you to go hold on, or to go hold and parade in front of everybody. I did it. I did it. That's ego. If you're telling people, I did it. I did it. I did it. That's ego. It's not really you. It's not the real you. At least. So if you awaken, please share to the world, because it is not yours. We are all here to encourage and to show the truth to one another, and to express the truth. I mean, if I were to tell you it's this happy-go-lucky thing, it's all this, just bliss, all the time, bliss, 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 bliss. Don't you think the whole world would have been awake by now? If everything was so good and easy, everybody would have been awake. But it's because it is so hard and so difficult and so painful that not everybody will do it. And those that come to hear about it, soon as if they do not have a true sense of, or true, how do I put this, a genuine hunger for the truth, and they are diligently, if they are not diligently seeking, once they hear about the pain, The birth pains and things, they, they, they run the other way. No, I'm not ready to die. No, I want to hold on to the ego. No, if the ego dies, then who am I? Well, be honest, you are nothing. You are nobody. And in being nothing, you are actually all. The most beautiful thing that you can be is not. Why you want to hold on to a concept of yourself? Is it going to serve you? In the end, is it going to serve you? Can I take that concept and crush it? Yes, I can. Every day you crush your concept of yourself because every day you're changing into a different person or you have a different way of thinking of yourself. Yes, it's way bigger than us. It's far bigger than us. But we are all just dots that are somehow connected, part of this bigger picture. But we are here to help one another and we're here to show the truth. We must help each other and we must expose that it's going to be painful. It is going to be painful. And I say that with the utmost love. Because I want you to know beforehand. I didn't really know. I found out during my awakening how painful it is. And then I started to find more people making testimonies about the pain and things. And I thought, but now you could have told me this before. And you know what? It came to me. Well, if I told you that, if you had known that, you would not have come on this journey. You would have not have been doing the things that you are doing. You would have not even thought to question anything. First question you asked, or the first question to start you on your journey, let me help you out. Let me give you a starting point. If you have not yet started to go through these things and started to question, the norms of society. We like to say that we must not follow man. We must not conform to the world. Yet we do. The question you need to ask to get you started is this: who am I? Sit in your meditation, in your silence, and just ponder it. Who am I? In all of existence, who am I? Am I the body? Am I more than a body? Am I a person? Ooh, that's nice. I truly even I truly feel even more connected to God now that I am awake. I want to hug everything. Ooh, that's a very lovely place to be. Don't have any attachments to it though, because attach yourself to something, it's hard to let go. You can get stuck. You have no attachment. PC, could you go back to that comment, please? I would love to read that lady's testimony. I feel like they, my relatives, it's been weird, but I love it. I used to be afraid of others. Now I feel I have helped them. I have to help them. Love is truly all we will need. No one left behind. Amen. Ah, I love it, man. I love it. It's hard to be alive in a cemetery. It's very hard. Very hard to be alive in a cemetery. Ah, it's good to be back in the living with all you wonderful people. Yes, you must warn them, but you must encourage them as well. That's so true. We need to do these things. Push us through these things. Yes, that seem uncomfortable, but exposes triggers to the ego. Yes, but I'm going to tell you something about your ego. It's going to blow your mind in a moment. But I just want to show you in the Gospel of Thomas, the second saying. Jesus says, The one who seeks should not cease seeking until he finds. And when he finds, he will be dismayed. And when he is dismayed, he will be astonished. And he will be king over all things. Did anybody catch that? So when the seeker ceases to seek, he will find, but what he will find will dismay him, to put him in despair. And when he's in that situation, he will become astonished. Because when you're going through that pain and that turmoil, the death of ego, the death of this idea of who you were, right? You you don't know what's gonna happen when it's over. But when it's over, the most blissful feeling ever. Don't get attached to the bliss. I know some people that have awakened within a moment of just hearing something. They didn't even go through any of these things that we go through now seeking. They never needed to seek. I envy those people, but I don't envy them also because I cannot envy. I just need to love them because they are so blessed to not have to go through the breaking down of your religious belief and what society has put onto you. Just by hearing a few enlightened words or a glimpse of a message and boom, they awake. They'll never be the same again. You know how wonderful that is to be able to say, oh, I awakened one day, just a mistake. I was busy looking at YouTube or something, and then boom, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Do you know how wonderful that is to be able to say that? Even us that do seeking, that have to do this, this put in the work, as they say, for this, that we so search for. Um, it's wonderful when you make it through and you see the light. There's something I still need to explain. I'm gonna do that now. I first want to explain to you the Ankh of life, the Egyptian Ankh of life, and what is. So I'm gonna show it to you now, the picture of it, and with some things written on the side. So we remember we were talking about the sexual energy and things. So I'm just gonna show you a portrayal of ancient Egyptian symbology of the vitalness, sorry, of a woman's reproductive organ. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah. So as you can see, it says there, female receiving life force, male giving life force, ascending non-gender soul. When you are or during your conception, for the first, I don't know how long it is, but there's no gender, right? What if I told you that your idea of a gender doesn't truly exist because you are formless, you cannot have a gender? Now, I know, I know people, they're very rigid about this. gender, and your persona. I don't care about any of those things. You want to speak to me, or you want to tell me something, what I would suggest to you is show me that you are on the same path as me. Thank you for your beautiful message and sharing mine. This Facebook has been so educating on world issues. Opened my mind like no other. So grateful. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for understanding and for confirming to me that somebody understands and somebody needed this. Because I wasn't sure whether or not I should do this. Because I know I just broke a lot of people's belief systems when I stated the decree of David, David being the firstborn, and proving, if I was a Christian debater, I guarantee you I'll be a champion. Because Isaiah 9 kills the question of any Muslim. So Jesus is God. Well, if you're looking for a historical Jesus, a flesh body, then no, that's not God. Looking for any physical form, no, that's not God. Rather, the Jesus and the God that you are referring to is within you. It's always been within you. Even Jesus himself said, the kingdom is within you, God is within you, don't you know? So I'm just I'm just amazed now for this moment. I'm very amazed. So as you saw the Ankh, right? Let's go back to it. Because that sister now just she blew my mind now. You see this here. This over here. You see. This is the penis. This is the penis, right? That is the womb. But this is also the vaginal canal. Understand what I'm talking about? Um, sorry guys. So as you can see over there, but now I want to show you the secret vagina and where you will actually be born from. When it says, lest I be born again, look at it nicely. So what I explained to you as the womb, that is the skull or the head. I explained to you as the penis or the vaginal canal, the vaginal canal, is the spine. The being going across underneath the um, the skull, and the one going to the across like that. That's your shoulder. This is where the birth takes place from. The energy is released. There's a short circuit between the two hemispheres of your brain. Brain short circuit is electrical short circuit, and the energy cascades down your spine to the base of your spine and collide. That in Revelation 12:5 takes place. And as soon as the child was born, he was taken up to God and placed on the throne. This is saying what it is saying is energy runs down, right? It connects with that golden white orb of energy, and it ascends immediately through the crown chakra. And as soon as you come out, you still now there will be a momentary amazement. Yay, what's happening? Am I dead? Am I alive? Where am I? Who am I? What am I? Because now you know you're not in this body because you just felt yourself descend and ascend. So now, in that moment, you come to realize that you are above your crown here. You see on your dollar bill, you guys in America, there's the eye of horse or the eye of Osiris, like this. The rock side, like this, right? Do you see it? Do you guys see it? On top of the pyramid, there is the all-seeing eye, right? Do you see it now? Here on me, do you see it? The way my hands is placed, you should see it. So you are here for a moment. It's not on your head like that. No, you are few centimeters above it first, and then you you have this urge. Yeah, I can't. Just the small piece can't be me. There's more to me than this. Even though I am formless, even though I am limitless, not knowing that at that moment, but from yesterday and now I can say it. There has to be more than that. How can I just be this? You then pull your entire self out and you become one with the wind, one with the nothing and the all. You are a winged being, a fiery serpent winged being. That's not your true form either, for you do not have form, just a depiction that is given to you. Why we have that depiction? It's because the ancestors symbolized it that way, and it's been passed down from generation to generation, not by mouth, through DNA, through your blood. It's been passed down. All this knowledge is within you, like that brother Jason said. But you do not know yet until you come to be known. For when you know, you will be known. When the seeker becomes the seeked, and the finder becomes the found, that's what it comes down to. And yes, just wow, wow. I can't only respond to wow. Amen, yes, amen, wow. Sister Becky, I'll not respond to it. But yes, it all comes down to thank you, Spirit, for the truth. Yes, thank you, Father, for allowing me to do this. Thank you, Father, for convicting me to do this. Thank you, Ruah, for nudging me in this direction because I did not know. A moment lapse of reason, yes, you forget everything. And you will have that moment where you want to hold on to your ideologies, you want to hold on to your ideas, your concepts. Why? What purpose does it serve you? I tell you, thank you, sister, that confirmation. You see, everything is symbology. Everything is symbology. But if you don't know what they are pointing to, you might be like the pastor, oh, that's demonic. Oh, that's Satan's eye. So Satan has more power than the devil. If I just showed you that your ego cannot fight your true self, how can it be that Satan has more power than God? Satan is your ego. I think that means thank you and you're welcome. Yes. Michael Dean Scott, another powerful brother in the spirit. Ooh, 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 ooh. The brother that brought me back to social media. The brother that forced me to come back. Why? I didn't see your name now, brother Michael. I do not remember this. I would most probably just ended without saying this. Your message the other day on the rainbow. I don't know if you saw the comment that I left. Um, I said from esoteric standpoint, I don't know if you guys know what that means, but esoteric just means within, or you're looking from within. Exoteric is what the church teaches you. They teach you it's up there, up there. But yet in Luke, is it Luke 17? I think. Uh, and the word, if they say the kingdom is there, the kingdom is there. Don't believe it, for it is within you. But still you believe the pastor when he tell you it's up there. No man. Come on people. But Michael, back to you. So from an esoteric standpoint, the Noah and the rainbow. I like the point that you made. Lapse of reason to me is when all logic flies out the window and the only thing that makes sense are the things that my carnal mind cannot grasp. Much like when I was young. Yes, the carnal mind cannot make sense of it. And that's also the problem with the ego. The ego tries to make sense of everything because the ego wants to be the one. I've done it. It was me. I figured it out. No, you didn't figure out anything. By the grace it was given to you. All a gift of grace, from grace. But Brother Michael, when you were speaking about Noah, you said Noah receives the light. Nobody has the light. Um so you all of you guys now already know I don't view the Bible as secular history. I view it as a happening, a now, a year. Because it is to take place within everybody, it is to be experienced. I cannot profess by theory, by logic, because logic cannot explain spirit. Logic cannot do it. Impossible. You can try to sound good. You're not going to be able to convey your message to a stupid person or to somebody that just wants intellect. Yes, you can convey your message, but you're conveying them the wrong message. It's to be experienced. So when you said that about Noah receiving the light, yes, he received the light. But there's more to Noah than just receiving the light. Because Noah is also you. And the Messiah said, like in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end time. Tell you something about that prophet. That prophecy means there will be a flood of information that surges in. I'm not talking about the digital flood that we see. I'm not talking about the social media flood and the YouTube flood. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the flood within you. You see, because all these things would start to come to you, but because you have been conditioned to logically process things, you tend to look for confirmation from others because all your life throughout school you only knew what you knew when somebody told you it was correct or it was wrong. But with the spirit, that's not how it works. For the spirit, you cannot convey the message from a theoretical perspective. I can only convey to you my experience. And then you go within yourself, within your closet, and you say, Boy, I will also like that. I, I want to experience that. I want to taste that fruit that he was eating. Do you think the Father will deny you? I tell you, he won't. He will never deny you. If you don't receive the answer, if you don't receive what you are asking for, right? It's not because the Father is hating you or because he doesn't want to reveal it to you. No, it's because you believe that you are not worthy of it or you are not ready for it. He cannot put a burden on you that you cannot bear. Therefore, I tell you again, empty yourself of concept so that you may be filled with all truth, because concepts of the world are lies, deception. We live in a world of deception. I don't live in a world of deception up here though. Why would I want to deceive myself? Yet the outside world keeps on coming with deceitful things. Ah, we're trying to heal you. Did it heal anybody? Oh, we want the best for you. No, you don't. You have self agendas. That's the truth. But Brother Michael, the flood is the information that comes through to you from the divine source of the I am. And in this flood, you need to remain centered, you need to remain neutral. Don't get overwhelmed. It's hard to do that, I know. Um, I can't say that and just expect people to get it. Because even me, I myself was overwhelmed a lot of times by things I've experienced and things I've come to know. Ask questions you don't really expect the answer you get, but you have to take what you get because what you get is sometimes the truth, and sometimes it's the ego. That's where discernment comes in. Discernment is a very powerful thing. So you must be able to watch whatever it is. You know, if you're looking for a confirmation of what you experience, if you go into research it. Um, Other people don't speak with you. Other people don't view the world as you do. And other people might not even believe the way that you do, but they confirm what it is that you have experienced because they too have experienced it. So don't look for confirmation from others. You can research, but have discernment to know when some. How you will know is you will feel it. You will feel it within your heart. It will resonate with you, and flutters will come in. Oh, that's what it's talking about. Oh, that's that. Like you saw earlier on a demonstration of that when Sister Becky put up there about David and Goliath. I never viewed it like that. She confirmed it. Why? Because the Spirit led her to see it that way. So it's much the same with all other things. But yes, just stay in the ark and above the water. The light being given, or the rainbow, is the activating of your chakras. It's the alignment of self. It's the overcoming of all things that has come across your path. Amen. The Spirit of truth is our only viable filter in this thinking realm. Yeah. Yep. The spirit of truth is your only viable filter. But how do you know when it's the spirit of truth? That's a question. How do you know when it's the spirit of truth and not your ego? Are you attacking it intellectually? Are you dissecting it intellectually? If so, it's pretty clear who that is. So yes, now it receives light. And yes, there was a flood, but what flood? Flood of information. A flood of truth, diluted with a whole bunch of lies, intermingled in the sea of information. Stay in your ark, wait for the rainbow. Yes, Sister Becky, I'm glad to see you say that, because it's not about us, never been about us. Always been about revealing the spirit of truth. So I know I said I want to talk about a few of the devils and how the ego can be a useful tool to you. I know I said devils, there's a reason I said it like that. There's only one devil, that is the ego. The reason I said devil is because we're gonna go into the gods of destruction. People don't like that. The gods of destruction in the use. What was it? Anybody know? Anybody willing to take a shot at this? Brother BC, if you want to take a shot at who the gods of destruction are, not who they are, but what was their purpose? Because I can tell you the gods of destruction are your ego. Their purpose is to destroy your ideology of yourself, your personal perspective of things, and to put you in the unified field of the impersonal and the field of love, the field of truth, because there is no need for person. There is no need for your view. I mean, what does your perception of you have to do with me? Absolutely nothing. But your perception of you also influences your perception of me. Therefore, step out of the personal and into the impersonal and allow the God of destruction to come through and take shots at your ego and break it down so that your mind can become one of your useful tools. Turn the Judas into Judah, as the Kabbalah say. Hmm? Christians don't like that. Oh no, that's Freemasonry. Oh, that's demonology. Oh, it's not. God plays all the roles in this world. There is only God. There is no other. Earth can be overpopulated, but heaven cannot, for in heaven there is only one. On earth we are a fragmented body of one, but in heaven there is only one. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever color, whatever background you come from, if you close your eyes, do you see color? Do you see form? Therefore I know what I speak truth, because in heaven there is only one. And there's not many. You see, the formless can take on any form, but form, the temporary form that you are in, this human body, they say you are limited to it. But who told you this? People told you that. God never said you're limited to that body. Stay in that body. No. Within you is the formless. So why would you want to be conformed. Seeing things wrong in the world means there's something in you that needs to be worked out. If you see violence, hatred, and things, it's because you have violence and hatred within you. All you see, no matter what's going on in your mind's eye, all you see is love, compassion, and healing, upliftment. Don't you think that one day it will come to pass and it will be? Can you hold the faith? Can you hold the Sabbath? In the Shabbat today, can you hold it? That's all it means. Forming something in their mind's eye, fully playing out the scenario, the full scene. You play all the roles. You embody every person you envision. Maybe walking down your own road, you come out of your house, you see all your neighbors over there. They're all happy. They're all in bliss. They're all moving in the spirit of truth and in love. This is how you see them in your mind. So my eyes is closed because I can't explain it with my eyes open. I'm looking at the thing. You see them all in this blissful state, helping and loving one another. If you can be faithful to this, I guarantee you, your street will be the light of your city. Your street will be a street that the whole city wants to move into because the people are so happy and content. Because the spirit of truth moves, the, the light moves, and it sustains. So, like they say in Malachi, and the Lord will rise in you like the sun with healing in his wings. Why don't you want to rise? If the sun rises in you, be the sun. Embody the sun. I'm not saying take a SpaceX rocket and go shoot yourself into the sun. No. You are not your form. What you want to send your form to the sun for? Become the sun. Become the moon. Become the earth. I shouldn't even be saying become because you are. You are. For all the elements of the universe, the firstborn, weren't they sacrificed to make you? Weren't they sacrificed to make you? I think we can end over there. I'm not sure. I think so, yes. Brother BC, but anything to add? Brother BC, you still with us?
Sorry. Say that again.
You got anything to add?
No, sir. That was well put. And we hope to hear more and more from you.
Well, I can only move as the Spirit convicts me to move. I cannot move on my own. So
Amen. Amen.
the Spirit moves me. I will be back on the platform. Uh, like I, like I said, Brother Michael that actually started me moving in this direction, and then Sister Becky sent a message in the back chat in the week. She said, the Ruach is upon me to say this. Something big is gonna happen on the Shabbat. And then it was like, why did she say that? Because now I have to now. I can't now not do it. Because as soon as I saw it, it was like, I hadn't to look at that. Why did I look at that? But I have to do the Lord's will. I'm here in service of humanity, not of self. But if I dare say for self, not this self, but for higher self. This was such a beautiful message. I give all thanks to the Most High for Brother Keegan Brink and his obedience. Thank you, Sister Betty. That means a lot. That means a lot. And yeah, you see, if you got anything,
No, sir. This is all you and the Holy Spirit. I ain't adding nothing. And so I just want to thank you, like Sister Becky say, for being obedient to the Ruach and moving how the Spirit want you to move and not how people, man, want you to move. And we just ask that you continue doing that as you see the more people, Sister Joyce Williams, Miss Debbie Gilbert, Michael Dean Scott, Aloha. Everybody is in one accord and one in the spirit. So I'm gonna
Amen.
turn it back over to you for whatever closing remarks or however you want to close it out.
Um, I just want to say thank you for everybody that came onto this live today and for your confirmation in what I was saying and just for me to know that I'm not going crazy, I'm not losing my mind, and you know how hard it was to actually bring up the decree of David because I know it rubs a lot of people the wrong way to say Christ is not the son of David. David is the son of God. He's the firstborn. Christ is God. But you don't know these things because they are personifications, but you believe the personification to be real. It's all about you and the spirit. So that is I just want to get that across to the people and I'm glad people caught it. Nobody came here with any negativity. I thank the Father for that. He kept all of that away. Why? Because my shields of love is up and only love can penetrate these shields. Nothing else. So I give thanks to the Most High and I give thanks to everybody. Debbie, thank you very much for all the confirmations that you gave here today. Thank you. I will be replying to some of your comments, people, and I will be reacting to some of your comments on Facebook. Not to worry, I appreciate you and thank you very much. Thank you, BC, for the platform. I will be back soon with another message.
Anytime, anytime. Shalom, everybody. Shabbat blessings.
Blessings, blessings.